Does it really take hours and hours every week to grow a thriving garden? The answer to this is going to surprise you, but it's absolutely no. In my own garden, I spend on average 30 minutes a week to maintain my garden, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I do that in this video. And if you're new around here, this channel is all about helping new gardeners and even seasoned gardeners save time and money and garden more efficiently. Today's video, I want to walk you through how I maintain my garden in just 30 minutes a week on average. Now, I will say I spend a little bit more time than that in the beginning of the season as I'm getting plants started, and sometimes I spend a little bit more time than that if I have a project to do or if my garden needs a little extra TLC. But on an average week, I'm spending about 30 minutes a week to maintain my garden. So let's talk about the truth when it comes to time. So when I very first started gardening, one of the most frustrating things for me was that it took so much of my time. And I had a full-time job, I had kids, I had so many things going on, and I thought, like, there's gotta be an easier way to do this. And I started to look at how to make my routine more efficient and how to enjoy being in my garden rather than it being a full-time job. And this is what I found. I'm going to share my routine with you. The most important thing to remember is if we set our garden up the right way from the beginning, it can almost be set it and forget it. My garden, for the most part, runs itself. And I personally spend 5 or 10 minutes a day or about 30 minutes spread out over a week to maintain my garden. I do not have a whole lot of extra time, so this is the time I have to allot to it. And most of that time is spent harvesting, checking for pests, or tying up tomatoes. And the first tip to creating a garden that you can maintain in 30 minutes a week is to start with the right setup. Now, again, you're going to have to spend a little bit more time than 30 minutes to set your garden up at the beginning of the season. But this really is the key to a low maintenance garden. For an almost maintenance-free garden, start with raised beds. This is going to go a long way in helping you create healthy soil right from the start and helping to prevent against weeds. And again, there's a cost when it comes to raised beds and the cost of filling them with high quality soil. So this is something you definitely want to factor in. But when we're talking about that 30-minute a week routine, this is just what I did. So start with those raised beds, fill them with high quality compost and soil that's going to be really healthy, a really healthy growing medium for your plants, and that's going to hold on to water really well. You want a good moisture retention in your soil. Make sure that you put those raised beds really close to a watering source so that if you do have to water your garden, you're going to be really close to that water hose. It's going to take a lot less time to come out and water your garden. Raised beds in particular are literally my secret to creating a almost maintenance-free garden. And then from there, once I have my plants established, adding a really thick layer of mulch means that I literally almost never water my garden once my plants are established. Now, I will have to water them when they're baby seedlings or when I first transplant them. But once I got that thick layer of mulch and those roots are already established, I pretty much do not water my garden throughout the growing season unless there's like an absolute drought and it needs it. Tip number 2 for that almost maintenance-free garden is going to be cut down on your watering. Now, a lot of people will add drip irrigation. This is a really great way to go. However, it costs a lot. The other thing you can do if you don't want to implement an entire drip system in your garden or use soaker hoses, you could definitely do that as well. But if you don't want to invest in a drip irrigation system or soaker hoses, the other thing you can do is really focus on mulch. I use a pine shavings mulch, and I use a fairly thick layer of that pine shaving mulch. And by doing this, like I said, I almost never have to water. You could also use leaves or straw. I will say that both of those are going to break down a little bit quicker than my pine shavings mulch, which can be good because it feeds your soil with organic matter, but it also means that you have to reapply it often. With my pine shavings mulch, I'm doing it right now about 2 to 3 times a year, just adding another light layer. And that really is just maintaining the mulch. That thick layer that I add in the beginning of the season pretty much stays there, and then I just add a little bit more on top of it 2 or 3 times throughout the entire year. And then when you do water, you're gonna wanna focus on deep watering. And I talk about this almost in all of my videos. And the reason why is because it's so important that we do deep watering. When your plants need water and you add water to them, you're going to want to add water to the base of the plant. You're going to water really, really deeply so it penetrates the soil right there at the base of the plant really deeply. This is going to encourage those roots to go down deeper into the soil and to find that water and also the nutrients that are in the soil a little bit deeper down. If you only water your plants with like a surface watering or a light mist, what happens is all of those roots stay at the top layer of that soil. And this creates plants that are super dependent on you watering them, one, but also they're just not as strong or healthy because that root system is just not as well developed. So water very infrequently, but water very, very deeply. And when I tell you that I literally almost never water my garden, I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Now, I will say that I live in Florida, right? So we get a lot of rain, especially in the spring and in the summer. So keep that in mind when I say I almost never water my garden. But really, even if you're in a drier climate, even if you're in a drier area and you add a very thick layer of mulch, you're gonna drastically reduce the amount of water that you have to add to your garden. And you're gonna be able to go longer and longer and longer in between watering. And my third tip for creating that almost maintenance-free garden is make the most of your weekly check-in. So this is what I do in a typical week. Once my plants are established and everything's been planted, this is how I maintain it. I go out about 5 or 10 minutes in a day. And while I'm harvesting, I'm looking for any pests that are there. I'm looking for any like pest damage or bug damage. I'm looking for any signs that my plants are stressed out, that they may need a little bit of fertilizer, they may need some help, whatever the case may be. I'm looking at the health of a plant while I'm outside harvesting. And then I will just once a week come in, add any fertilizing or any sprays that they may need. If there's, if they need BT or neem oil, I'm gonna add that. If I need to fertilize, I usually fertilize every other week. If I fertilize, a lot of times I can skip fertilizing once my plants are established. But if I'm fertilizing, I'm doing that once a week. And that really doesn't take a lot of time. I will say that I keep my garden kind of small. I have 3 to 4 raised beds that are 4 by 8 at any given time planted. And then I also have some containers that I keep planted. Because my garden is relatively small, it's maybe medium size, I guess you would say. But because of this, it's a little bit easier to maintain. So if you have a massive garden, it's probably gonna take you a little bit longer. If you have a smaller garden, it's probably not gonna take you very much time at all. And I keep everything right there together, well connected, so that as I'm walking through the garden, I'm saving my steps. I'm able to check all of my plants in a relatively short amount of time. And the other thing I do once a week is, again, as I'm harvesting, I come out with my jute twine and my little scissors, and I will tie up my tomatoes to the trellis if they're falling down, or do any pruning that needs to be done, any of those maintenance things. As I see weeds creeping into my beds, I go ahead and pull them. This doesn't take me any time. It literally takes 5, 10, 30 seconds maybe, because I keep those weeds out of the bed. And because I do that, I don't have a lot of weeding to do on a weekly or even daily basis. And then if I notice that my mulch layer is getting a little bit low, I will come out and add a little bit of mulch here and there. Like I said, I typically do this a few times a year, but if I've replanted or pulled things out recently, I'm gonna go ahead and cover that soil immediately with a decent layer of mulch so that that ground is never ever exposed. When it comes to my garden, I do everything in batches. So if I'm already going out to the garden, I make sure I take any of the tools I might need with me. I make sure that I'm thinking about what my garden might need and I've prepared ahead of time so that as I go out to harvest, I can go right behind that harvest and do whatever maintenance tasks my garden needs at the same time. And because I'm almost always short on time, I will set myself a time limit. So let's say I have a project that needs to be done in the garden. I will decide, okay, I have 10 minutes for this project or 15 minutes for this project. Or if it's a larger project, maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's an hour, whatever that might be. I set my time limit and I get whatever I can get done within that specific time limit. And that's pretty much it. So most weeks I'm in and out in about 30 minutes or less. Usually, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes every single day. I come out in the morning with my coffee. I'm kind of enjoying my garden as I'm harvesting and kind of checking for, like I said, pests. And then that once a week on Saturday, I will do a little bit more of those maintenance things. That might take 10 to 15 minutes on a Saturday morning before I come out here to film. And that's literally my routine for gardening. Now, again, planting seeds, I do that in batches. I have set times that I plant seeds throughout the year, and that will take a little bit more time, but I've already factored that in. So those weeks are not necessarily 30 minutes. It might be an hour on those weeks, but I still do not spend, no matter what, never, ever, ever do I spend hours upon hours upon hours outside in my garden working to maintain that garden. I don't do that. I want to enjoy my garden, I don't want it to be a full-time job. And the last tip I would say to maintaining this almost maintenance-free garden is let it be a little bit wild. So it does not have to be perfect. This is something that I really struggled with in the beginning when I started gardening. If I noticed that my tomatoes needed pruning, I had to do it right that second. Or, if I noticed something just didn't look quite right, I had to deal with it right that second. Let it be a little bit wild. It's okay. If your garden's a little bit overgrown, it's okay. If you do find that there's some weeds, now I try to pull those right away, but that's just because I've set my garden up in such a way that I keep those weeds out of it. But let's say maybe you're gardening in ground, or maybe you already have some weeds. Embrace it being wild a little bit. You want to deal with those, but it's okay if you don't get to it right away, or if you don't get to it right this minute. Embrace it being wild a little bit. Set some time limits for yourself. Try to enjoy your garden. You're still going to get a harvest. Even if your garden is not beautiful or perfect, or even if things might look a little bit crazy, chances are you're still going to get a decent harvest out of your garden, and that's what's important. And honestly, the wild craziness of it can be absolutely beautiful. So embrace the imperfections. So let's deal with some common questions when it comes to creating that almost maintenance-free garden. And I actually told somebody recently that I generally spend about 30 minutes a week in my garden. And their question was, okay, is that a lie? And the truth of that is no, it's not. I really do only spend about 30 minutes or so in my garden on most weeks. Like I said, more time when I'm doing seed starting or different projects, but maintaining it in the middle of the summer, I am not coming out here hours and hours and hours. So the truth is, yes, you can create a set it and forget it garden. I actually went away from my garden for almost 6 weeks where I was almost not here at all. There was some light maintenance that my husband did on the garden, but it was very, very minimal. My kids did do a little bit of harvesting, but again, it was very, very, very minimal. And even in that, my garden's not dead. There were some things I had to pull out. My garden's not dead, and I still don't have a ton of weeds. So you really can create it in such a way that you don't have to spend all of that time maintaining it if you do things right from the beginning. Another question people will ask, and I've answered this in many of my other videos, so I'm really just repeating myself, but it's just absolutely true, so I'm gonna keep harping on it. But a lot of questions I get regarding like mulch. Okay, what is the best mulch to use if I wanna make sure that I'm like saving time in my garden and I don't want to have to weed and I don't want to have to reapply it every couple of weeks? The answer to that is always going to be a pine shavings mulch. And I talk about this in so many of my videos, but there's a reason why. It's because that pine shaving mulch really is the best thing that I have found to maintain my annual vegetable garden. Now, when it comes to the perennials, I really like wood chips. I think wood chips are great around most of your perennial plants. But when it comes to the vegetable garden, those thin pine shavings you get from Tractor Supply, you can either get the pine flakes or you can get the pine shavings. I like the pine shavings because there's more surface area and they just stay in place a little bit better. But you can get either one. But the main thing is that those really thin pine shavings, you're gonna add that to your garden bed in a very thick layer. And like I said earlier in the video, I only reapply that a few times a year. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Use that pine shavings mulch, and it's really cheap. It's like $7 and something, maybe $8 in some areas, but it's pretty cheap. One bag will go a long way and it lasts forever. I cannot harp on it enough on how important that has been in saving me time in my garden. Another question I get a lot is, okay, what can I do when it comes to weeds? And like I said earlier, like raised beds go a long way and a very thick layer of mulch is gonna go a long way in dealing with those weeds. And if you set it up right from the beginning, then the next thing that you need to do is just, as you're doing that weekly check-in, pull any weeds that you see before they have the chance to get out of control. A lot of people will say, okay, well, but I'm gardening in ground. What can I do? And in that case, I would say try your best to create some type of barrier. You know, a lot of people will use like a weed fabric and then make holes in that weed fabric to plant their seeds. This is a really great way. It takes a lot of time in the beginning, but it's a really great way to prevent weeds from being in your garden in the first place. If you're already growing, however, if you're already growing, you know, a lot of people will come through and just kind of like cut those weeds down. You can do this, but if you've already got plants established, I would say go ahead, bite the bullet, take some time, and just go outside and pull all of those weeds by hand. Get the root systems of those weeds out of your garden. And the more you do this, you know, maybe set aside like once a month you do this, or once every 2 weeks you do this, something like that. And as you do this, you're gonna find that there's a lot less weeds in your garden year after year after year. A lot of people will till. Now, tilling is gonna make your soil look great right before you plant, but here's the problem. It will bring those weed seeds to the surface, and so every year you're gonna be dealing with more and more and more weeds. But if you do as little disturbance to the soil as possible, and you just pull those weeds out as soon as they pop up, you're gonna find that over time, you will have an almost weed-free garden, I promise you. The other thing I would say is keep that soil covered. So if you're growing in ground, definitely still use that thick layer of mulch. And when you're not growing anything in that space, use a tarp, mulch, or some way of covering that soil to keep those weeds from sprouting in the first place. So yes, you can grow an almost maintenance-free garden. You can have a weekly routine of maintaining your garden that's about 30 minutes a week. It is absolutely true, it is absolutely real, and you can absolutely do the same thing in your own garden. I hope this video was helpful for you. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know any maintenance tips you have that keep your garden thriving and help you save time. I'm gonna leave some videos on your screen until the next ones come out. And I'm also gonna leave some links down below of some of my favorite products for the things that I actually use in my own garden. And these are affiliate links, so I may earn a small commission if you purchase through them, but there's no additional cost to you. I also have a free planting guide that I've listed in the description box below. Go ahead and get that. It's a free download, and it will definitely save you a lot of time as you get ready to plan or plant in your garden. So thank you guys so much for watching. May your garden be full of grace. May you be abundantly blessed. We'll see you next time. Bye.